Okay. It looked like we're good now. So three, two, one, clap.
Big clap.
Welcome to another episode of the Afro Taku Podcast, a podcast where we talk about anime, manga, and everything else. I'm Mr. Good Guy, aka MGG, and I'm joined here by my co-hosts who will introduce themselves, starting right now.
Hey everybody, it's Player 5.
What's going on? It's Jugger.
What up? It's Deuce.
All right. Without further ado, we're gonna kick it off with a story time. We haven't done it in months. Well, Player 5, take it away.
Wow. There's this story. This is possibly the funniest story that ever happened to me. And I'm surprised that more people don't know it. I'll save names just to spare people to embarrassment. But I was dating a girl. This story is called the jalapeno hand job. I was dating a girl, and she was she was cooking. She was like making like some dinner or something. I think like stuffed peppers or something like that. I don't know, something that involved jalapenos. And she doing her thing, chopping up peppers, whatever. I'm doing my thing, playing me some video games. I can't remember what I was doing because all the shit beforehand is irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? Because after she finished cooking, everything in the oven, she come back to the room. And, we decide to do grown folk things. You know what I'm saying? Like, she just was like, hey, midday hand job. You feel me? And who would deny that? No one, right? Everybody would be like, hell yeah, I'm down for that, including myself, right? This is where I wonder if this was a setup or not, because she didn't wash her hands.
Wow.
So, me being the real nigga that I am, mid hand job, I start feeling a little burning. Like, oh, okay, there's a stink here. But I'm a real nigga, so I'm like, no, I gotta get mine. You know what I'm saying? I gotta follow this to the end.
Wow.
So I sit through it, I get mine, but directly after that, I'm like, whew. I'm like, my Peter kind of hot, man. I gotta hold on now. Like, and then that's why I realized I was like, oh, you was in there chopping them jalapenos and you ain't wash your motherfucking hands. This is setup. and by this time, post nut clarity, my shit on fire, bro. Like literally, my dick is on fire. So the first thing I do, I'm like, all right, nah, I'm gonna run into the shower. Boom, run into the shower. Like maybe I can like scrub this shit off. So let me be the one to tell y'all no. That is not how that works. And hot water is in fact only going to make your situation worse.
Hella worse.
Oh no!
So now my shit go from on fire to my dick just burst into an inferno, bro. Like for real, like call the fire force. It's serious. Like I'm running around the house, top only, no bottom. And mind you, at this time I got 2 roommates, right? So like, you know what I'm saying? I'm all bottoms, just like, or all tops, just like running around like, yo, like everybody like, obviously, what this big nigga running around with no pants on for? I'm like, yo, like my dick on fire, yo, I need help. I'm like, bro, we got some milk, and of course we some fucking like broke ass goofy like young niggas, so we don't keep milk on deck. Like, nah, the only milk in there spoiled. And I'm like, yeah, all right, my dick on fire, but I ain't putting no spoiled milk on my dick.
What? Hey, bro, it must not been burning that much.
I just thought, like, would I want rather it be burning right now or like have like some fungal infection in there? You know what I'm saying? I was like, I can't go for that one. So I'm just gonna have to. I was like, no, it's over with. So what we did have was ice and water. I took a Tupperware bowl, ice and water, boom, filled that up, and I just literally just shoved my dick inside a bowl of ice water. Damn. And I tell you what, it felt fucking good. Like it clearly wasn't a better option than milk, but it was probably the second best option. And no, it didn't stop the burn, but it soothed it like afterwards. You know what I'm saying? And so like just imagine like I'm just standing there in the middle of the living room, no pants on, dick in a bowl of ice water, just like just sitting there like, yo, like this is I'm in pain, but this is the funniest thing that could objectively happen to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like it was hilarious
And
and
what did
fucked
old
up.
girl do?
She was, doing like, oh, I'm sorry, the whole thing, and it's like, I felt conflicted, right? Because it's like, it wasn't like this was forced upon me. It was a consensual hand job. I could have been like, hey, did you wash your hands? I knew she was cutting up jalapenos. So I'm like, bro, as much as it's your fault, it's also my fault. So I'm just like, it was just one of them things like you mad, but you really can't be that mad though. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, damn, I was like, please, like, never do this to me again. By far the most painful experience my penis had ever been through. So it's not like 100% a laughing matter, but like when you look at it objectively, like, yo, that's funny as hell. You just got jalapeno juice in your dick. Like,
Yo, that's crazy.
And what did old girl go on to do post this situation?
I
feel
can't
like-
even remember if she washed her hands after,
Oh.
because I feel like at that point it's disrespectful.
No, I
You
mean
know?
like like the end of a black movie, like, oh, she went on to be like CEO of a Fortune 500 company.
Absolutely not. Like, I think she just went on to be a regular ass nigga, as far as I know. Like, yeah, she, part of me wished that she would have touched her own junk, and then boom, we both would have been in this pain. But that's just the pettiness of me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I've definitely, like, as a person who likes spicy food, I've definitely done that to a couple of women in the past. So it hasn't happened to me, but I've definitely been the person that's passed that, I'll say habanero,
Wow.
not even jalapeno, over to some women. So
That's
R.I.P. They survived though.
Yo, I mean, like, I
get
still
your
gotta
perspective?
ask though. I mean, like, you said, like, post nut, you started to feel it like that, but while it was happening, was it actually like good? You know what I
No,
mean? Like,
absolutely not. Like I felt the burn while it was going. You know what I'm saying? And I felt the burn, and it felt like as if somebody was just kind of like gripping my junk too roughly.
oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? It didn't feel like it felt good, but it also didn't at the same time. But it was definitely enough for me to get mine. You know what I'm saying? And when you in that thirst, like, you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, if we ask every random nigga on the planet, hey, if your girl offer you a midday hand job, are you gonna say no? Like most people gonna be like, no, yeah, I'm taking that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I got caught up in the sauce shit, but as soon as I was done, I was like, nope, I gotta go. This might be a hospital event. Like,
Oh,
that's how bad it hurt, bro. Like,
all right.
yeah, it was something serious. But at the end of the day, it cleared up. I ain't had no lasting issues or nothing like that. It was just like, wow, that's hilarious. I can't believe that happened to me. I can't believe it happened to me, but that's fun. But I want to know from your perspective, MGG, as a
Perpetrator.
person, perpetrator. What be going through y'all mind while we suffering?
Damn, that's really it. Like each time I did, I was just like, ooh, damn.
So,
But yeah, I mean, I don't know how to help. I just kind of like looked, and then eventually, the person moved past it. Shoot, it might have been the reason why some of them relationships ended. Who the fuck knows? But yeah, I didn't really help. I just kind of was like, ooh, my bad.
the response was basically the same.
Because you don't know what the fuck to do at that point. You kind of just like, I mean, it's pepper. And it's like, if I touch it again, it's probably just gonna make that shit worse. So yeah, they just stuck.
Huh. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I feel like with more, I feel like I mean, it's getting into a dark place, but I'm just gonna be blunt. With dicks, I feel like there's a lot more damage you can do without really causing an infection. But with vaginas, it's like putting anything in there. Like if they try to put milk in there, I feel like that's gonna come back and cause some random shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just like, yeah, bro, you just gonna have to hold that.
Yo,
Best of luck to you.
yeah, I am happy that I have a penis because I feel like it also made it very easy to solve the problem. Where I'm like,
I mean, that's just external versus internal, I guess.
right? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I just couldn't imagine if it was the other way around. I had to beat you. I had to. There's the only way. Like, I gotta throw hands with you. Like, if I'm a woman and this happened to me, I gotta beat you. That's the only way you're gonna learn from that point on. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they
I
didn't
got
put hands on me, so it's good.
Yo, just for the audience sake, we at the Afrotaku podcast do not support women battery and support the empowerment of
Oh
women.
yeah,
Just
no.
to
I'm saying if I was a woman, I would have to have beat him.
hey,
I
Yeah.
we at the Afro Taco Podcast don't condone women on male violence either.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy. But
Oh,
yeah, that's my story time. The jalapeno hand job.
The thoughts and opinions expressed by Player Five do not represent those of the Afro Taco Podcast or its affiliates. What a great way to come off of just making some money with sponsorships. Is talking about penises and vaginas in this
Right?
episode.
And marketability gone.
Right? What? But yeah, so I guess we'll move on to some decent news. Jug, if you want to take this one away.
Sure. So I just want us to I mean, we gotta unfortunately give big ups to where big ups is due. Granted, we still gonna have reservations of the series in general, but the decent news we want to get into is just to give big ups to the new Demon Slayer movie out. Let's see, I'm trying to see as far as like the exact film. Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie Mugen Train. Right now, currently, it is in seventh place for overall highest earning films in 2020 worldwide. And for an anime film, that's kind of like, I mean, that's like redonkulous. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't check, but it's going to be hard to find an anime film that's literally competing with real life, just, I mean, for a lack of a better phrase, non-animated films, and to really be in just even like top 10. That's kind of amazing. And then when actually looking into like the sub analytics of the numbers, I mean, it even topped in Japan like Harry Potter sales. I mean, like that's crazy. Like when you think about that. I mean, like I think it like hit like a couple others too. I'm not sure about like Titanic or as far as other films, but just as like a quick note, I mean, at least in like Asia right now, as far as to the movie being released in general, I mean, it's breaking box offices like everywhere it's being released. Period. I think let's see what else is this. It also saying that it be outbeat like Frozen 2. I mean, it's just being like on practically everything, at least over there. And again, like it's seventh place worldwide, and it's still growing. So I mean, this is kind of like just redonkulous.
I mean, my comment on it would be, I mean, well, big ups to Demon Slayer fans and the Demon Slayer author for doing it. Obviously, you're gonna get your big bucks, and you had the wherewithal to end the series where it made sense. So I'll put some respect on his name for that. Other thing that I think could be contributing to this, but not to take away from the fact that this is still amazing, is quarantine. I do think that like 2020 reduced probably I don't think as many movies that would have, I don't know, broke top 10 released this year because of the whole COVID thing, or in the way that could have worked. Because like the Mulan movie, for example, that shit probably could have hit big, but the release was just like flopped, right? Like it just wasn't. I don't know. I didn't know where to get it. I had Disney Plus, but it was like I had to do this whole extra thing to watch it. So I don't know. I still don't think it takes away from it. I still think even outside of quarantine, it probably would have done record-breaking numbers. But once again, from like the Demon Slayer hater in me, like I do think Demon Slayer as a series brought a lot of people together. Like my wife watched Demon Slayer. She enjoyed the show. Her brother, who's like into anime, but like definitely on the Naruto side of things, like the typically shonen spectrum, absolutely love the series. So it definitely, I saw that it brought a lot of people to the fan base. And like I said, if we was outside of quarantine, I think we would be seeing a lot of Demon Slayer cosplays during this convention season.
True.
So it has the audience. Um, I'm just like, in my mind, it's off the animation.
I mean,
It's just off the animation, bro. Like I don't know if the story's there, but it's also kind of how I feel about the what was that other movie that people love that Spirited Away? That I forget the creator's name, but like his movies. Like I've watched a few of them. I thought they were decent, but like people go that motherfucker's shit. And maybe it's just that I don't get it, but
Yeah,
put it
I'm
out
gonna have to pull the Kanye. Like, look, I'm gonna let you finish, but
there.
like, sure, get your respect, big ups for the anime community, but it's just crazy because I talk with many people, anime lovers of multiple ages, and I don't see niggas really goating it like this, bro. Like, maybe it could just be my small population of people are just kind of similarly like minded. But I be trying to, whenever I run into an anime person, see what they thoughts on Demon Slayer because the internet going crazy. But when I talk to individuals, where the hype at? I'm like, bro, man, this might be a
In
Watergate
Japan,
scandal,
nigga.
bro. Like, we gonna have to.
The hype is in Japan.
I guess.
I don't think no niggas watching that shit. The movie, like movie. I don't even
What?
people aren't even
Oh
watching
no,
anime
bro.
movies in. Nah, bro. I'm saying like, of course some people watch it, but like you said, for like
Uh,
the top 10 thing, that to me that means nothing. Like the movies were shut down for half the year. People still aren't even going to the movies. Like $1 billion, like $100 million budget movies aren't even making back their budget. That top 7 or top 10 that means nothing to me in 2020.
I mean, like, I would agree with you if they weren't actually comparing the numbers though to pre-sales before even like 2020,
Well,
aka
they're,
the
they're
Harry
comparing it
Potter.
they're comparing it to Japan sales.
I
That's
mean,
what I'm
well, that's
saying.
true. I mean, like, well, I mean, I would have to look this up, but like in US, I don't think it's been released yet, has it?
no, it's
I
supposed to
could be
come out in February.
right. So, I mean, like the sales we're talking about as far as highest in 2020, we are just talking about a contribution from like Asia, from like Japan and Taiwan, at least specifically right now. And those numbers alone are putting it where it is. So, I mean, if
That's
you're
crazy.
thinking about that just in general, like it just being released again in Asia, that movie is still in the top 2020 spot for worldwide, though. I mean, just imagine when it's still going to hit the US. Maybe not the numbers aren't going to be obviously the same as Japan, but they still going to be real. I
Nah,
mean,
bro.
so
I'm telling you, these Demon Slayer fanboys is crazy. I do think it will still maintain a high ranking. Like I said, I mean, what Deuce brought up, we're in quarantine still, so there isn't a lot of competitors. I think personally right now, so I can see it still staying there when it drops in the U.S. Probably because it's going to be easier to access than most of these other movies, and the niggas that want it know about it.
true. So I mean, it's just pretty much another testament that Demon Slayer is just continuously making big noise, and it's probably going to continue on for as long as it keeps on releasing anime. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
he should have
big ups
continued the series. Should have squeezed that shit for all it was worth, bro.
when it works,
Uh,
it works.
right. Last thing for decent news would be Burn the Witch. I mean, we don't have much to say, but just to say Kubo got us again.
Mhm. Bro, I'm hurt because most people that know me and know my thoughts on anime, I'm pretty open to anime, but there's one thing where I'm like, yo, I was hurt by Bleach, and that has shaped me into my, 3 episode rule, or no matter how deep you are, if it sucked, drop it rule. And that all stems from Bleach. Bleach shaped me as an anime watcher. And I swore to myself, never again, Taite Kubo, never again will you get me, nigga. And then he came out with Burn the Witch. I was like, man, I'm just gonna watch it because it's newest, whatever. Watch the first episode. Okay, I kind of like it. second episode, third episode. I'm like, oh, this fire. This fire. Okay, let me wait for the fourth episode. I'm checking every Friday. Like, where the fourth episode at? Like a Goofy. And this nigga got me again, bro.
It's over with.
Motherfucker. Like, there ain't no nigga I don't know that I want to slap like this nigga.
Yeah. And like my problem is I hate when like you said it was three episodes and that was it. But I hate when you build a world that I was interested in because like the first episode I was like I don't get anything. I don't care much about this world. But when you get to the third episode, you meet that captain. He pulls out that electric thing. He has his own set of spells. He's spraying shit with spray cans. They're talking about these like god level dragons they have to defeat. And then you see that they're whatever the head of their division, that guy with the fucking weird mustache that looked like Yu-Ha Bach, just easily took that thing out in one shot.
Bro.
And then Kubo goes like, "Yeah, we just gonna wrap it up here." I'm like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Maybe he truly learned his lesson from Bleach. Like he was like, "Hey, bro, let me stop before my fucking power scaling started destroying the story."
Right? I was like, what the fuck, bro? That was, I didn't think I got. I was like, okay, I didn't come in invested, but somehow Kubo did it again, bro. He got me invested in that bullshit.
Hey, he good at setting up a story, I guess. That's his
for real.
specialty.
He needs to.
Was it just an anime or was it a manga too?
It was a manga too, a limited series.
And you know what's crazy, bro? I for the anime club at my school, I put them on to this. Little did I know.
Oh no!
Set them little niggas up, bro.
Yeah,
bro.
And people was like, "Yo, this kind of lit. This I'm gonna watch that." Okay,
you taught them a valuable lesson.
Episodes.
You know what I'm saying? You taught them a valuable lesson about the anime community, though, which is that be ready and expect to be let down.
Yeah, and you know something? I think that really does teach these young bucks because when talking to them, they don't got the same respect we got. I'm like, bro, back when we was watching anime was really only set up to promote the manga. 20 episodes in, all right, we done. Go watch the manga, bum. Like that was it.
Right.
Like now y'all get the whole thing. Like Black Clover owned the manga ass. Like never. That wasn't gonna happen.
That's what I'm saying. Niggas used to be anime used to be years behind the manga. Like we'd be like, yo, y'all just got to that. Like we've been there. Look at One Piece is even. I'm surprised how close it is to where the manga is. Like y'all niggas not really missing anything. It's getting to a point where it's really going to be hard. Like I don't know how they're going to be able to finesse it with the chapters, but they're going to be really really close. Like and it's going to be hard to. I mean, the argument of anime versus manga might become non-existent with how close they're going to end up being.
Yeah, you know
you're not missing.
We gonna start going away from like the mangaka as this like holy sensei who's putting down this knowledge with a couple of extra niggas on the side helping them. It's gonna become industrialized like everything else. Like, all right, nigga, you can make the one or two main plots, but we got other niggas writing the rest of the story.
Right. No, but see, my issue, or like the thing that I want to see resolved is that I feel like in the past, anime only stuff felt like uniquely different from an anime made from a manga in terms of like storytelling. Like you could always feel that there was something like about it. Same thing with the ones from like light novels. Like I'm wondering if we're gonna get to more of a point where like a mangaka basically can start as an anime creator first, kind of, and still tell the same quality story. Do you get what I'm saying? Maybe I sound a little weird, but yeah, that's where I'm like, if we get to that point where now I'm like, now I really do have to battle, because most times, like when I'm watching a series, I usually have a manga backing that I could like go off of if I don't really want to start the anime yet, or if I'm really interested to keep going. But now we're gonna start seeing stuff that's as good as mangas that are just anime only. So I have to week watch these fucking episodes because there's nowhere else I'm gonna get the answers to the questions. Like,
yeah, I see, but I think for shonen, and I think it's even getting even more so nowadays. I think for shonen, I like to watch the anime first because, like, they don't give the fights justice in the manga. You know what I'm saying? And then the anime will get me hype, and then I get a visual in my head of what they, and I can read the manga, no problem. And but like I said, I think it's just gonna get worse because man, the animation, the fights be getting so cold. Like I said, like damn, that fight with the captains was the coldest I seen them go. Period. And that's not even, I mean, well, some would say it's canon because he gave the okay, but yeah, we know how that went. So it's just like, who knows, bro? Like crazy.
Yeah. And I'm gonna need them to come back and start farming the old series too, like and remaking those. Like I know we're already starting with a couple, but I mean honestly, like Cowboy Bebop, for example, I tried to watch it yesterday while I was fucked up, and I was like, I think this show definitely has the swag, and I get the whole timing of it, but I'm like, yo, if we were able to, reanimate this for 2020 or whatever, probably bring some more people back in.
For sure.
Um, but yeah. Any other closing comments on Burn the Witch, the anime manga community, Taite Kubo, anime
Y'all hurt
speed?
me like this, man.
I mean, with everything said, I still got to put it out there. But the next season of Bleach is still gonna be lit. Sorry,
What?
I'm sorry.
Hey,
I gotta be honest. It's just with seeing how animation is so clean in
bruh,
2020 and knowing the battle fights that are coming for
That's
this season of Bleach, there's no way I can't
Jugga,
say it's not gonna be lit.
That's
Jugga.
true.
You
I'm
know
sorry.
what
It's
MGG
just
just said? He said Goofy of the Year round the corner. And you gonna say some
uh,
controversial shit like that?
Bro,
Hey, I
you
got
on
my
a
nominee.
redirect like that, bro.
wow.
I mean, I see how you can say that. I see how you
Nominee.
can say that without the anime being released yet, but just wait. Just
No,
wait.
I don't
I
disagree
second
with
that
that.
player five.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Oh
know
wow,
Wow.
what
y'all
I
wow.
mean,
It's definitely gonna be hard. If you think about the first captain, Genryu side,
so
pulling
you
out
gonna let this
all those
nigga get you
sprinkles
three
on it,
times, bro?
that's fine. Hey,
Wow.
you can put my name on there if you want to. I'm already on there with the fans right now, so it's cool. It's cool. I agree with you though. Like I definitely think they had turned that shit around. Like Burn the Witch was beautiful, especially that last episode. That's great to see that animation style tied with if that's what they're going with, tied with that final arc of Bleach. Yeah, niggas, we're not gonna hear any of the anime only Bleach niggas say Bleach was trash. I'll put it that way
That's true. I
because
agree.
the fights will oversell the shitty ending. But that's it for decent news. On to the anime segment. So let's start with better rivals than Sasuke. So we got another stronger than, and in this edition, we're going to do better rivals than Sasuke. Sasuke Uchiha from Naruto, probably one of the most iconic rivals next to Vegeta, I would say, that we know in the anime community. But is he really the best rival we've seen? I think not. We'll see what everybody else thinks. So who wants to kick it off? Who
Um,
has their better
I
rival than Sasuke?
I
Yep.
definitely feel the need to start this off because I feel like it's disrespectful to even mention Sasuke without putting respect on the OGs. I'm gonna say Hiei. You know what I'm saying? Killua, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a little disrespectful to put Sasuke above them and when Sasuke is just a copy of them niggas, you know what I'm saying?
That's
So
that,
Hiei for sure. Every aspect of Sasuke personality, if you like it, that nigga basically just acting like Hiei. He act like Hiei with Killua powers. Like that's it.
That's true.
So I'm like, I definitely gotta say Hiei. You know what I'm saying? And like, and this is why I respect on Hiei. Cause you don't get this from Sasuke. Sasuke talked down to everybody. Killer B mopped this nigga, he talked down to him. Hiei got clapped by Yusuke, and Yusuke the only nigga that he talked to like a reasonable human being. Everybody else was like, nigga, shut up before I kill you, stupid ass nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at least it makes some sense. That nigga Sasuke get clapped still talking shit. Like how you get served by the Kage, served by B, served by Itachi, and you still big talk. Like nigga, chill out,
a
bro.
lot of shit.
You've been getting knocked the fuck out recently.
Mm-hmm. Kid with OP powers, bro. That's just how it is.
That's all I got to say on it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Go ahead, Jug, if you have one.
Oh, I know someone's gonna take it. So since I'm the next one, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about the good old show, Clover over here.
Oh yeah,
That's the fact.
But in all realness, the reason why I like and just like a nice concept to Black Clover in general is that the rivalry between Asta and is all healthy. Like everything about it, like actually positively promotes the plot and the growth with both characters. They both want the same goal, but there's still a very strong and mutual respect and love between them. I only say love because they're actually family, but I mean, just in general, it's just what's a good word? It's refreshing. Minus the other rivalries that are in there, just are kind of a tsundere kind of relationship, right? But these two are like all up front. Like there's nothing really hidden. There's no like, oh my God, I secretly love you, but I'm actually acting like I hate you. It's just like, nah, bro. It's like, bro, you looking weak right now. What you doing? Let's go, let's go. Like that's the kind of like attitude. Like it's tough, but it's still real. So as far as like actual rivalries go, as far as like Asta and is probably my favorite over the time. As far as like my experience with anime, just
I
because of
respect it.
how like legit and upfront it is, and how it's actually profitable to both characters.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Fact. Co-signing the. I was debating between who I wanted to really talk about, between Matt or Sashomaru, but I'm going to go with Matt because when I posted this on Monday, I heard some disrespect coming Matt's way, and I felt like I gotta address it. So Matt from Digimon is my better rival than Sasuke. Why I say this is I think, for more or less from what I remember from Digimon, his relationship with Tai was healthy in the beginning. But what I really loved about Matt was when he left. Like when Matt decided, fuck the Digi Destiny, I'm doing this shit on my own. I felt like he really did it on his own. And I think that's where Sasuke was in the beginning, where like he left. When we first met him, it looked like he really got the power up and he was going to take it to the next level. But post that was just a bunch of L's getting handed his way. When Matt showed up on the scene, when he was like, "Yeah, I'm a solo Digi Destiny," he was saving the Digi Destiny's asses half the time. Like they was a whole group of niggas doing a bunch of shit. Matt would come through with Garurumon or the evolved form of that, murking whatever the fuck they had to fight. And I just thought that shit was dope. I was excited to see him enjoy the group. As far as like the emotional roller coaster of their rivalry, I felt like I was way more invested in Matt and Ty's than I think like Naruto's and Sasuke's, even though they were both like pivotal parts of the story. I do think that I enjoyed Matt's whole thing on its own. Plus the fact that like Gaomon was like this nice motherfucker, but basically he was like, at the end of the day, my nigga Matt said we going, so we going. Like I felt like that was hard. Like I felt like if Sasuke had some niggas like that was like also left the village with him because they were just like, yeah, Sasuke said we going. Maybe I would have liked a little bit more, but Gaomon was one of the nicest Digimon. He turned that motherfucker into a 6 Power Ranger, bro. I just felt like if you really gonna do it, I felt like Matt did it. He was really like, fuck y'all, period.
Yeah. I gotta just piggyback on that and say like I watched Digimon as an adult. I don't want to say like recently because technically it was like like 4 or 5 years ago, but it was as an adult. And I just gotta say that Matt is just a better person than Ty. There's no reason Ty should be the leader except this nigga yelled the loudest.
Yep.
I'll throw that out there. Ty,
No,
this
that's
show
facts.
should be about Matt.
That's facts. I'm telling you, all we really needed was Matt and what was the dude with Ajimon? What's his brother's name? Was it TK?
TK.
Yeah. Matt and TK, they could have beat a lot of niggas, bro. Once he figured out the Ajimon shit,
Oh yeah,
they'd have
it was
been
over
good.
with.
But yeah, that's mine. Deuce, you got yours?
Yeah, I got one. Well, I mean, so the two I got, I guess, I took Yari from Pokemon, and then Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
And just in general, like a lot of rivals I think are better than Naruto, like than Sasuke, because it wasn't even really a rivalry to me. It was just Naruto chasing after him on some like weird shit. You know what I mean? Like they the reason they didn't even have the same goal. The reason they like fought is because Naruto was trying to save him or some shit like that. You know, it was just all weird. But Kaiba for sure. I mean, even like the growth of his character throughout the entire like show, I think that by far like trumps anything Sasuke has done.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. That's actually a pretty
There are
good
definitely
one.
some good keep the same energy type of rivals. Like Gary and Kaiba was on that period. Don't matter where we was at, it's still fuck you, nigga.
Okay, I just gotta put a little bit of disrespect on this nigga Kaiba. I gotta throw a
What?
little bit of disrespect on this nigga Kaiba.
Oh wow.
I feel like, remember, I voted Kaiba as like one of the best brothers out there. I think he is a wonderful brother, but I gotta put some disrespect on this nigga name as a rival, cause like he's this nigga is no rival to my nigga Yugi. Like that's like calling Krillin Goku rival. Like, come on, he ain't even come close to
What?
be. This nigga had to attempt suicide to stop this nigga, bro. Like, come
No,
on,
you're
bro.
right. It was one sided. It was one sided for sure.
I can't even put that nigga even close. Like my nigga invented the battle city just so Yugi could clap that man's. Like sit down somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like that nigga a supporting character. I
Bro,
can't
Well,
that's
respect him. Nigga
I
Joey
hear you.
got more respect as a rival than that nigga Kaiba.
bold statements.
Big bold.
Whoa.
That's
Okay.
cold. Like I hear you, but that I think you're going too far with the Goku and Krillin comparison. Like really, bro? Like we talking about a human versus like the definition of a warrior alien race.
I mean, honestly, it's
That's
the same thing as,
I mean,
Goku and Vegeta, really. Because, like, for example, Goku Vegeta had to get Majin Buu's help to fight Goku. He had to do all the extra shit to even
When they first met,
come close to Goku.
but when they
but
first
that's
met
just it.
Vegeta, they had
Clarify
to
to
jump
say
Vegeta.
he's Vegeta.
Yeah.
He said he's Krillin.
Vegeta bodied them.
Because when they first met, Vegeta had to get jumped. He really packed that nigga Goku out. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, he did. He
That
bodied
is
them
true.
niggas.
But Goku the main character. So you know what I'm saying? That's how that's gonna be.
No, he didn't, though.
What? He beat the shit out that nigga.
Yeah.
Goku won. Goku, yeah. I mean,
Goku
sorry,
won.
Vegeta technically won that fight.
No, yeah, like
If he wasn't for
first
the
off,
tail getting cut off, it was
But
over with.
he still technically had it.
so here's my thing. He had to use Spirit Bomb, which is energy from other niggas. He had to go Kaioken times 20, which meant that nigga Vegeta was 20 times stronger than that nigga, or less than 20, but he had to go Kaioken times 20 just to like blow that nigga back, and it didn't kill Vegeta. Vegeta came back, it was like, nigga, close, but it's over with. Like, they really had to jump that nigga. Like, and
nah,
that's
bro,
why I say
Goku
he
did.
got that day to shine.
101.
Kaiba ain't never got that day to shine. His closest was like, nigga, jump if you beat me, Yugi. And Yugi's like, all right, bro, you tripping. It's
Hey,
whatever.
but to me, he did have the hardest cards though. That's why I fucked with Kaiba. Like, Obelisk the Tormentor, y'all can't play
It's,
around with how cold that shit looked
Mm-hmm.
when he summoned that bitch. Obelisk the
but
Tormentor
Hey,
had
and if you
hands.
being real, Yugi jumped everybody. It was two of them niggas every time.
That's true. That is true.
that's
Low
facts.
key. That nigga was like, tag out, bro. This shit hard. The only time, no, but he did the first time he fought Kaiba, maybe that wasn't a jump because he had Exodia in his back pocket. So that was just straight up slapping that nigga raw. But after that, yeah, I could totally agree with that nigga getting jumped.
Damn. Yugi always jumping kids. That's great.
Facts. Do we have any honorable mentions for rivals? I do want to just call out the ones that we didn't specifically highlight, but like Shishomaru, Vegeta, of course, we just talked about, and L, where some other ones we brought up. I think all those are some notable rivals that maybe there's a debate, but I do think are probably overall better than Sasuke in terms of rivalry.
No, that's fair.
Any other ones coming to mind?
We talking about good rivalries?
I mean,
Just
Bakugo, I
like
guess.
honorable mentions, and then we'll go into like the worst than the
I
shitty
think
rivals.
Bakugo was better.
Who?
Really? Than Sasuke?
Yeah, I
Honorable
think so. I
mentions.
think Bakugo.
Oh,
Recently,
wow.
for sure. Like
Interesting.
once he learned of all for one or is it one for all, whatever. Once he learned that the Deku got like All Might's powers and all that, I think it's been much better.
Yeah.
Okay.
But before that, no. Like early on, it was just terrible.
Oh. All right. Any other ones? Because now you bringing up My Hero already gave me one that I want to highlight in trash.
Ooh.
We know who it is.
Yeah, we already know. So I'll move on to worst rivals in Sasuke, and he seems to come up as trash in every discussion now. He's becoming the new live trap. But Endeavor, bro, I gotta put him out there
Yeah, bro.
as as another trash rival. Like his relationship with All Might, like while I get it, he sacrificed so much to try and beat this nigga.
That nigga really
Still
started
didn't
beating
beat him.
this kid.
Yeah, still didn't beat him. Took his place, and it's day one on the job showed us he couldn't even live up to this nigga's shoes, bro. I would think that at least, even if you can't be All Might, you should still be able to be number one. Well, but this nigga, I think he's going to die. I really think the death flag is here for this nigga, because he's not holding it up. Best Genius just outshined this nigga.
That's a fact.
That's true.
He's the only pro hero to show us that pro heroes can actually do shit. So
Yeah.
far in this entire arc, Endeavor's the trash rival, bro.
Garbo.
Endeavor, All Might was never thinking about him, never worried about him, never scared of what this nigga could do, not once.
Yeah, I think if there's an argument for anyone not really being a rival, it's Endeavor. Like he's like I know we talk about Prime and Vegeta and all that, but he was so far from All Might that literally this nigga All Might probably didn't even know he existed until he was about to retire for real.
But see, this was like the Endeavor All Might gap is the initial gap of Naruto and Sasuke. I felt Naruto was that trash in the beginning, where there was like a huge gap between him and Sasuke. But this nigga eventually closed that shit. In terms of like Geni level, yeah, I don't think Naruto was close to Sasuke at all until they started
it wasn't that All Might gap, but that All Might gap is different. That's a different gap.
Okay, yes, it wasn't as massive as the All Might gap, but I think it was a significant gap, is what I'm trying to bring up. And I feel like Naruto eventually turned the tables, closed it, and then passed him. Endeavor didn't even get close. Like it was always running away from him. Period.
Bro,
Like,
this is why he a shitty rival, is because any other rival would keep working hard. That nigga just start beating his kids. Like, fuck that nigga, bro.
That's true though. I mean,
I can't put no respect on him. He definitely trash.
That too.
I got a nigga that I gotta put out as trash.
All right.
And it's that nigga Piccolo.
Damn.
Because you know what I'm saying? Like Piccolo, if you only watch Dragon Ball Z and up, Piccolo probably ain't got clout. But like honestly, I feel like Piccolo is the main center bad guy that everything was leading to for Dragon Ball. Like, you know, and then that nigga like, yo, Goku, you put a hole in my daddy, I'm coming back to clap your ass. Okay, I lost to Goku, then boom, Dragon Ball Z come, he like, look, nigga, I'm about to put a hole in you, Goku. Like I was like, bro, I really thought that Piccolo was gonna be this nigga rival forever. I thought he was gonna be where Vegeta is. Like, bro, this nigga went out his way to kill Goku. Like, hell yeah. And then it's just like, what, nigga? You became his glorified babysitter. You this nigga kid best friend. Yo, weird ass nigga. Like, bro, I can't get over it. He lost. Vegeta is everything Piccolo was supposed to be.
My question is though, do we give him a dub for killing Goku? As a rival, does he get at least one dub for technically killing Goku?
Okay, that's why I always give him his respect. Not because when niggas hate on Piccolo, I give him his respect. He killed that nigga Goku and kidnapped his kid. Niggas ain't know who's going to train him. Piccolo just like, he coming with me and kidnap that nigga. You know what I'm saying? And couldn't nobody do shit. So that's why I say I get that nigga his respect for that. But we know where it ended at because we can see 20 years down the road how the fuck the story is. And all that hardness still ended at him being a little bitch at the end of the day.
I mean, but you could actually low key, if you want to get deep into it, you could say it ended after he killed Goku. So his goal was accomplished.
A real rival never put it down.
I'm just saying.
In real life, would never
I'm
quit.
just saying.
Vegeta would never quit, and that's why he made it to our list.
That's true.
Vegeta is where Piccolo was supposed to be. Think about that. That's why this nigga got to be on the opposite list.
I don't know, man. I think that's kind of tough. Like Vegeta was forever salty because he forever didn't get a dub / never put Goku in the dirt. Piccolo did.
But we don't know that it's over though. We don't know that it's over though. He might get there. We know Piccolo done for because
he did beat Goku. So, right, technically.
Yeah, wait. He did. He beat Goku once in a 1v1.
Wait, when?
When them niggas fought, when that nigga beat the shit out of Goku, and then Yajirobe had to cut that nigga tail off.
Right. My bad.
Okay. And he technically beat him when he had the Majin thing too. Goku didn't go all out, but still, he still won. Yeah. A win is a win.
That's kind of a cheap win.
I don't think Vegeta count that win.
Yeah,
a win is a win, bro.
I mean, he second punched them if you really
for remember. You, but I don't think Vegeta going for that one.
Yeah. I mean, seeing as he was like, "Oh, y'all androids could get stronger. Okay, go ahead, Cell. Eat them niggas up. I mean, Cell, you could get stronger. Eat them niggas up." I think he will hold standards to his wins against Goku.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody else have another one? Because I got another one that came.
Yeah, I got one.
Go ahead.
Gray from Fairy Tail.
Damn it, that was mine.
Yeah, man, like,
that was mine, bro. That nigga's
the
a
show
ghost.
Started off. He was the rival to Natsu. You know, he was that nigga. You thought he was gonna be like the Sasuke. You know, the entire time, and then one arc later, this nigga Gajito shows up, and we never see anything about Gray again. He didn't even get power up until like the last arc or something like that. He was literally a ghost the entire time. Like,
Ghosted.
It was amazing. I've never seen nothing like it.
Yeah, no, bro.
He was a main character and became like a side character all within one arc. Crazy.
I just gotta co-sign the great stuff. They tried to redeem him at the end, finally gave him powers that were on par with Dragon Slayers, but it was too little too late. That nigga Gray disappeared. They literally smacked his ass out of the rivalry spot. It was crazy.
Yeah, I got a shitty rival.
Go ahead.
That nigga Leo, like nigga from Black Clover, like nigga, you're nowhere near these niggas. Stop calling yourself Asta rival.
Oh, like Jackson. Talk about Leopold.
Yeah.
Black Clover,
the youngest brother. Yeah.
Oh, Leon's brother.
Yeah, that nigga be out here like, yeah, I'm Asta rival, and niggas like, who are you?
No, hey, bro, Tito Jackson, nigga. You don't know about the Jacksons? We got Michael, we got Janet. You ain't heard about them too? I'm Tito. We even got Jermaine. I'm gonna put a respect on what's his face name, the Vermilion nigga. Ain't he like their cousin or whatever?
Wait,
or no, he's the Sakura motherfucker. He's not related.
He's the cousin family. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I'll call him Jermaine. Put him out there. Tito Jackson, bro.
And but would that mean effing oh fuck! Wait a second. Would that mean Mimosa's effing crap? Well, not Janet, but who's the other sister?
Yeah, there was another sister. I don't remember her name either. Is it Latoya? I think.
Oh, I think so. Yeah. So don't put Mimosa on Latoya status, bro. That's gotta go, blood.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. She's not getting Asta then. I can tell you that much. So.
Ooh. I don't know, man. I mean, Mimosa got that Hinata thing going. You never know.
Nah, bro. Asta is getting Sister Lily all day, every day.
Ooh.
No else will have to figure some shit out.
Nigga, Gray is getting Sister Lily. What are you talking about?
You said Gray?
Yeah.
Gray?
Yeah. Not Gray. I mean,
what?
You know.
Oh. I'm like, Gray, what the fuck is she? No,
okay, I can see that too. Pulls up with Sister Lily, and then Asta gonna be lost. Mimosa gonna comfort her. Boom. That's how it's gonna work. Noelle, I don't know. Like Noelle still is gonna be an oddball. Who knows? I don't know.
Just gotta get one spoonful of that charmy dish, bro. It's a wrap.
You think Charmy gonna pull up with you? Nah, dog.
For sure.
That ain't.
She's not important enough to pull Yuno.
Hold on real quick. I got to jump in on that one. Right now, as Yuno as a child, he don't understand. But when Yuno get older, hit that time skip, he going to want Charmy. A loyal woman that's cooking for him every night. Come on.
Got the hands.
Got the hands and the lineage. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. That.
Wow. Wild. Anybody has any other trash rivals they want to call out? I'm sure there's a lot in the history of animes. Yeah, Demon Slayer, I wouldn't say any of them are particularly trash rivals. They just don't do much.
Oh wait, what about I mean, I wouldn't call that trash because homie actually got hands. But I mean, this would get to be the honorable mention for Arthur in Fire Force.
Oh dang! Okay, yeah.
I hate that nigga Arthur. He should be on the list.
What? Yeah. But I mean, as far as
better rivals
go, you can't deny homie's got it off when he wants it.
That nigga on the trash rival list. He annoying as hell.
No, that nigga funny, bro.
Wow.
He's a stupid funny. Like he's so stupid. Like it's like the nigga's really retarded. And like it's so I don't like in the most recent episode, like they were talking about how they have a handbook how to deal with his ass.
Yeah.
Because he's so stupid. It's funny.
Wow. That nigga Arthur funny as hell. Yep. But I would toss out also Renji as another ghost rival.
Oh god.
He tried. He really did try, bro, but he just couldn't keep up. That nigga Renji from Bleach, he could not keep up, bro. Ichigo's progression was just too fucking fast.
Oh shit. I didn't even know he was talking about.
Yeah. And it's see, that's how you know it sucks because Reggie's story was I'm a nigga from the hood. They finally gave me some privilege in this whole society. I'm trying to come up and be great. Never did it. You can argue maybe he did it at the end of the series, maybe, but not really, bro. R.I.P. Renji, bro. That was. I was disappointed to not see him be able to live up to expectations in his rivalry.
Wait, I got one more trash rival.
All right.
I forgot his name, but the ninja buddy from One Punch Man, who really thinks he's like
Sonic.
rival.
For sure.
Sonic?
Yeah, that's it.
Speed of Sound Sonic.
He's trying. He got hope. But all right, I think we can move on to Black Clover episode 151. Player 5, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, so I watched the Black Clover filler. I think it's pretty fun. But episode 151 is super interesting because they decided in order to lift the hopes up of the people in the country, they was gonna do a Royal Knight selection test style fight between the captains. Except they left Real out, so it was a 4-on-4. It was Yami, Mantis homie,
Jack.
Jack, Silva homie, what's his name? Nozel. And then the purple orca nigga. I gotta put some respect to at least remember his name. He did decent enough I can remember his name. I'm gonna remember it one
really?
day.
What?
Yeah.
Damn.
He went from not being worth a name to at least being like, all right, I can remember this nigga name. And then on the other side, we had what's World Tree homie name again? I forgot already.
Vonjens.
Yeah, okay, we have William Vonjens, my nigga Fuegolion, Rose Charlotte, and then and Dorothy. Yeah, those were the teams. And they were boxing. And, earlier we had made predictions on who we thought were the strongest captains. And, we put Fuegolion at 2. I didn't remember that. I thought we put him at 3. But that nigga showed why he should be 2. My man 2v1 for like the whole fight. Wow. Nozel and Purple Orca homie. 2v1 them niggas. Not on some I'm barely surviving. They was like, bro, all we can do is contain this nigga.
Wow.
At best, I was like, bro, it's a disparity. Captains ain't built equal. Cause that nigga Fuegoleon strong, boy. They was all huffing, puffing out of magic. That nigga was like, oh shit, Amber Alert.
Oh, I'm about to say, I'm like, something blowing up over here.
Oh
Oh,
no,
shit.
it was
Nah,
you know
I just
the
got that too. I just got the same Amber Alert.
mm-hmm. But yeah, that nigga,
Honey
boy,
was nearby.
Nozel, or not Nozel, Fuegoleon was going crazy. Like, it took two niggas to just hold him back. Not beat him, hold him back. That's crazy.
Yo.
We confirmed Yami can cut through the dream dimension.
Oh, he can. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's actually a
But
big
Alright.
statement. All right.
so like the way it all ends is because they all get a chance to show off like they power, but the way it all ends is Yami dicking around in the dream world, and then she make like hella clones of Yami to just like beat that nigga up. After Yami get packed out by like clones of him, he like, all right, bro, I'm done with this shit. I'm gonna show you my move, and she didn't know about this move because Yami only did it with the boys. He's like,
Right.
all right, I'm about to pull out my move, and that nigga did Mana Zone, Dimension Slash. And
Oh,
it was so like strong, it cut through her dream dimension, and it cut both of the crystals in half in the real dimension too.
oh,
Snap.
shit.
Yeah, he like blew some shit up, and I was like, bro, Yami wasn't trying to kill her. Like, if Yami was doing to her what he did to Dante, like it'd be oh,
Hey,
and Yami did his black hole for the first time in the anime, which was lit.
Oh, that's dope. Okay.
wow. So they foreshadowing that, even though he ain't. So that was the one he
Yeah,
moved.
because this
He
whole
did against
time skip
Dante.
is about what these niggas was doing to get
Right.
to that point.
Oh, okay,
It's
got
the
you.
So
training. Yeah.
yeah, this was his first time whipping out the black hole. He used it to absorb like Charlotte shit.
Yeah.
And so these are from after watching it, I say that Yami, Fuegoleon, and William absolutely showed that they deserve to be where they at.
Okay.
And what William do? Matter of fact, because
That
he
nigga
didn't.
William was on some first Hokage shit. They like
Oh.
Yami and Jack did a combo spell and blew up the area. They was like, hey bro, ain't no trees in this area. Fuck that. Like they chopped down the whole area of forest. And they was like, y'all got me fucked up and turned the area like 5 times that size into a big ass tree. And he did that on the like boom right here, couple
Yeah.
seconds. I turned this whole city into a tree, nigga. Don't play with me. I was like, all right. Okay,
So
he
William is number one.
definitely big flexed on them niggas right there.
William is number
Damn.
one. You said.
No, I'm not moving that nigga to number one. And the reason I can't do that is because one, fire beats trees. And luckily we didn't have to see Fuegoleon go against William because they were on the same team. But that nigga Fuegoleon was definitely 1v2 and big easy. And then Yami, the reason like Yami, if you just watched him and you don't know how Yami gonna go crazy, you'd be like, bro, Yami one of the weakest niggas here. But I know Yami about to go crazy. And I know Yami playing. Like he wasn't trying to kill nobody. So that's
Yeah.
why I'm like, nah, Yami definitely stronger than what he was showing. So I feel like them niggas is where they at. Them niggas did not have no difficulty. They was just joking around.
Okay.
That
What about
nigga
the rest
Jack
of?
got to go down a little bit, bro. I got to drop that
Really?
nigga
Oh,
because
I was gonna
Better or
ask,
worse
what
than
about
Dorothy?
Dorothy and Jack?
Yeah.
tough. Because Dorothy, I had less respect on her than what we gave her. That was y'all that voted her up. So I thought she was weaker
Hell
than
no,
that.
that was not us.
No,
I
no,
want to say
pause.
this.
No, I've always been a Dorothy fan. Like, don't sleep on that dream world.
I
That's
put
all.
respect on her name. Yeah, that's fine.
This is the one thing that I'm gonna give to Jugga. Everything that we were saying that would make her lose, she actually acknowledged it. She was like, "Oh yeah, that time, that way that I tricked my elf, I'm not stupid. I'm not going for that." Like
Right.
she was like, "I'm
Okay.
never going for that again, nigga." Because that nigga Yami was like, "Okay, exit," and she was like, "Yeah, all right, nigga." Like get an exit to these hands, nigga. I'm not going for that. So that's why I was like, "All right, bro,
All
I
right,
gotta
thank
put some
you.
respect on her name. She not as stupid as we thought." But she is weak because her power is overwhelming, and she should have bodied that nigga. So I can't give her that much respect. And also, she can instantly teleport niggas. That slow shit, that no, that don't happen. Like she looked at that nigga Yami, and it was like boop boop. That nigga was
Oh,
gone
then that's
before
legit.
Yami or even and Jack was right next to that nigga. So before Yami and Jack could react, she boop boop, you in there.
Oh, that's
Dang, I wish she put
legit.
Jack in there so we could
It
see
would have
how
been
it
over. Jack would have
ended up.
lost, and I know Jack would have lost. And this is
Oh,
Oh,
okay, so
snap.
we.
Wait,
because
so then let me ask you. I mean, like right now we got Jack ahead of Dorothy at 4 and 5. Would you switch that?
yeah, big facts. Jack got to go to the bottom.
Wow, to the
I go
bottom.
to the bottom. Because hear me out.
To the
Yes,
bottom.
his magic cold. His magic do everything we thought it would do. But he can be overpowered because that nigga was chopping shit down. And William was like, all right, nigga, I'm done playing with you. And put a whole Kage tree on that nigga. Bow! That nigga was asleep.
Whoa.
He put a whole tree on that nigga, and that nigga was out of fighting for like 10 whole minutes. Nozel had to break that nigga free from under the tree.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
after he got from under the tree, he started going crazy again. But it's like, yeah, nigga, he a captain. He should. But William really was like, sit down, little nigga, and sat that nigga down.
Yeah.
But
So
This
it's
episode
better.
sounded legit, bro.
You know what I'm
God.
saying?
Yeah.
That's William. He gonna do that to everybody except like Yami and Fuegoleon.
So clarify based off
He
what
gonna
you
do that to
watch.
Nozel.
My bad. Based off what you watch, what does the new ranking sound like for you? I'll tell you what we had first, so you got that.
I'm
So the
looking at the
audience
thing,
knows
but
what we
you can
had.
say it.
Yeah, so the audience know what we had, and then you can tell us how it changes. So number one, we had Yami, 2 Fuegoleon, 3 Vengeance, 4 Jack, 5 Dorothy, 6 Brill, 7 Nozel, 8 Charlotte, and 10, 11, 9, 10 was the Purple Orca captain. So
Okay.
how does it change?
So a couple people can't change because of circumstantial evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Real, I can't change him because he wasn't in the fight.
Okay.
I can't change Charlotte because she was doing that goofy, ooh, Yami thing. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, like, because if I judged her on what she did, she would be number 10.
And
Well, I think it's fair to
that's
just say
sad.
that because she was on that goofy, I love Yami shit, ooh, I'm going to chill out on her.
Okay.
But niggas that need to change. Jack, you not number 4, my dog. No, sir. I got to bring that nigga Jack down to 9.
9?
I got to bring that nigga Jack down to 9.
That was past Charlotte, bro.
Yeah, I gotta bring that nigga Jack down because he looked cold. You see his shit, I'm like, damn, that nigga cold. But like, he was literally just overwhelmed. Like, William ain't do nothing crazy. He slapped that nigga with a tree. Like, he just overwhelmed that nigga, and everybody here got overwhelming magic. I'm sorry, that nigga, he done.
Wow.
I will keep Dorothy where she is at 5.
Dang,
Shit, I don't
Nozel's
know.
going above
Man,
her?
you can't keep
Okay,
her at
no,
5.
Dorothy gotta go up. Dorothy goes up to 4.
All right.
Dorothy gotta go up to 4. And then I'm gonna bring, I guess y'all getting the Amber Alert too.
Nah, me, I'm in niggas don't know shit about what's going on in Chicago.
Man, I want to move. I don't know. I guess I want to move. I gotta move real. No, I gotta keep real. Yeah, I guess I want to move Nozel up to 5. Honestly, I think it could be a tie between Nozel and that purple orca nigga. Like neither one of them showed me anything that was too amazing. Nozel just went a little harder because like he can make his shit be liquid or like a hard metal. So it's like okay, I guess, but I guess I'll put Nozel above that nigga, even though it's a huge gap between 1, 2, and 3 and everybody else. Huge gap.
No, which is what we said the first time. Like those top 3, they just different.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they went crazy, bro. Now I'm about to watch this shit after we done.
Yeah, episode sounds lit. That was crazy.
Oh, and they animated it decent too.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm here
that
for
nigga
that.
Nozel talking about him and Fuegoleon rivals. Nozel the worst rival, nigga. Where? Because you was nowhere near that nigga.
Wow. All right. Any other closing comments on the Black Clover captains? I mean, I'm shocked that Jack jumped
I
out.
got one last closing comment to say. Out of all the shit that I seen them niggas throw, I still ain't seen not nan nigga that I think will be what's her name? Mary Leona. Them niggas not ready for her, bro. They not ready for her.
Wow. Nani.
They don't want that smoke.
That's crazy.
Oh,
also, I since you seen them fight, anybody you think for sure you got the vibes that you know could probably beat or no?
You know, as he is right now, might beat that nigga Nozel.
Damn.
The crazy thing is,
nigga, how
I think he could beat Nozel.
5, right?
But what's up?
How? You had Nozella like number 5 or 6, right? How can he beat Nozella but not the bottom 3?
Because these niggas ass. These niggas is ass, bro. That's it. If these niggas, if every single Magic Knight captain right now went in to fight 3, the members of the Dark Triad, all them niggas be dead.
Damn.
It'd be 3v9 and they'd kill all them niggas.
I mean, they took out the strongest niggas, basically.
But you think that Yuno could beat Real and who else? And Blade on me?
Here's my thing. I think it's very situational, and we can even see in this thing that shit is situational. Because, like, if Nozel didn't have the magical advantage on Fuegoleon would have just bopped them niggas. He even said that. Like, oh, your water shit is keeping me from just bopping you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I think that, like, Jack would be a great counter for Yuno. Because he can cut through magic and that nigga like really relentless. Like he like with Yami as far as the like I'm not off your ass type nigga type shit. That's how he fight. So I think that'd be great to box Yuno. So I don't think he would beat Jack, but I do think he could just flat out overpower Nozel. I think Nozel is where he at because he rich, got hella mana, and his magic can do a lot of different shit. But when it comes to just boxing, I don't want this nigga Nozel on my team.
Damn.
Like, we just got to square up on some niggas, fuck utility. I don't want that nigga Nozel there.
Damn.
And he's still low-key stronger than some of them other bum-ass niggas at the bottom.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, you heard it here first, y'all. Yuno is dropping Nozel, bro. Okay. Any other closing comments? If not, I will move on.
No, we all gonna watch it, and then next time we can see if we all agree.
Mm-hmm.
So
I have a feeling we won't.
I think you're saying I have a feeling that you won't.
I have a feeling. Y'all know, like, clarify sometimes, like, throw some sauce on some shit. So, you know.
That nigga Jack look cold, bro, but he really ain't do shit. You will see.
All right. On to the Isekai Battle Royale. So, do you want to kick it off, Clarify, for this one too?
Sure. So I play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, and most Isekai, at least the ones where people get dropped into fantasy worlds, are based on Dungeons and Dragons. So I thought it would be interesting to see, like, you know, if a group of these Isekai main characters could do like a dungeon crawl versus like Ainz Ooal Gown, who is like a lich who runs a dungeon full of strong ass niggas. So I picked out kind of like the strongest niggas that I could think of that are usually in isekais, and so that was my nigga Goblin Slayer, because he ain't got outright strength, but that nigga got the Batman strats. Rimuru from that time I was reincarnated as slime. That nigga kind of really cold and he can absorb super strong shit and turn up, which may be they saving grace here. Kirito, because Kid Jesus can do what he want. And then Naofumi from the Rising of the Shield Hero, because that nigga Naofumi low key kind of cold with the shit, and I think he got clout as being one of the strongest isekai characters.
And Naofumi, we're going off of the anime understanding.
Yeah, like before we got started, I thought we would need to drop some clarifications real quick.
Go ahead.
So pretty much going off first with MGG, are we, as far as like status of every party involved, are we just using anime feats?
When I had made it, that's what I was thinking. But to be honest, I think niggas could use some help against Ainz because he's stacked. So I mean, shit, if you want to add some shit, I say add it.
No, I mean, like, I personally don't know, but from what I've heard and even seen the comments, but the manga Rimuru and at least manga Naofumi, they kind of become broken. So, I mean, that's why I think it's actually a pretty big deal. If we're talking about manga stats too.
So I say let's just keep it anime, because me personally, I don't read any of the manga.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of us is reading the manga. That's why I think we just want to preface it for the audience, which is like this is coming off of our anime.
That's exactly why we're saying this too. Whatchamacallit. And then two, when you say Ainz, do you actually mean like every like party entity that's actually a part of the Tomb of Nazarick, or just like Ainz and like basic I don't know, foot soldiers? Or do you mean like everybody's there?
I mean, so when I say my specific terms were like a dungeon crawl.
Okay.
And so what I mean by that is like, yes, it is these four against the entire Tomb of Nazarick, but they don't have to like head bash this. They don't have a time limit. It is like, look, it is your goal, just like if you were to pick up a random game of D&D, to go into this crypt and eventually destroy the head. How you go about that is completely up to you. So they might want to just run through it boxing every nigga. That might get them clapped. But hey, they could do that. They could sneak, they could rest, they could take as long as they need. But yes, it is these four against the entirety of the Tomb of Nazarick. Not necessarily at one time, but yes, the goal is to take out the whole thing.
Last question on the original post. You said prep time that the adventurers have. Does Ainz have prep time too? Do they know they're coming?
No,
Do they know who they are?
because in general, it is the group of adventurers who know of the evil ahead, and the just like with Ainz don't be knowing who coming up. Niggas just come for his head.
Okay. All right. So okay, now that we got all the specifications out, that was important. That was important. If I want to start this off, I'm gonna still give it to the Tomb of Nazarick, with high difficulty. And as far as out of 10, right now, I probably give Ainz 7. For the simple reason that Homie's roster of big hitters is huge. As far as the Floor Guardians, Albedo, effing fuck, I can't remember his name, Copycat Homie that guards like the treasury in there, along with all the maids and the head butler. Not to mention, and then just like all like the actual beasts and creatures under them. But even starting with the maids, like one maid by themselves, the power scale that they gave them is kind of monstrous, in the sense that you can argue that one maid will at least give one of the four characters reasonable trouble by themselves. So then you're just talking about like stack on stack of actual characters that strength or higher, not to mention actual Ainz. I don't see how only four of them are going to bring the smoke enough to actually beat them. That's pretty much my summary.
All right. I'll go. So for me, looking at this roster, here's how I broke it down in my mind. I don't see much of anything coming from Goblin Slayer, and I gotta be real with that. That nigga is about killing goblins. If if there's any goblins in Ainz roster, them niggas is getting bodied for sure. Other than that, though, his equipment is all based off that. And he's more of like a I don't want to. I guess MacGyver's the word I'm looking for. I don't know. Just he. I don't think he has the strength to really go against any of the niggas there. Rimuru has potential strats. I don't think he goes into fights without knowing he's gonna win in some way or with some level of confidence that he's gonna win. Plus, there's his predator ability, which, as far as I understand, doesn't really have limits into what it can absorb. So it really can shut down a lot of fights with the top Tomb of Nazarick niggas. But anybody with any sort of stress, I think, will be able to outsmart that predator ability. But any of the uh, I think there's that floor guardian that's pretty dumb. Like I could see him easily getting absorbed by that. Kirito, to me, I see him as like a super strong combatant. Anyways, I would argue that his strength should be on par based off the way they try to write him in stories. Should be on par with one of the floor guardians because he's just a OP power level type of nigga. Now, Fumi, I'm assuming that in the manga he's OP, but since we're anime only, from what I've seen, he's just come up into the cusp of his powers. He has a dope weapon, is strong, but I still think fighting capability wise, he's like subpar floor guardian somewhere. Um, so with all that being said, my thought is that it's probably going to be 8 out of 10 Ainz. And I'm giving the two only to a Rimaru strat that really incorporates all of the team well, or Rimaru's predator ability basically cutting out most of the fat of
Right.
people they have to fight.
No, I'm pretty much in a complete agreement.
Okay. I'm the reverse.
Whoa.
And I will
Damn.
mind y'all that I am fresh off of watching the Goblin Slayer movie, which is dubbed on Funimation. If anybody care to look.
Cut the check. Cut the check.
So
They should.
right. But yeah, so I had picked this group starting with Goblin Slayer in mind because I was like, man, what would he need to be able to take on Ainz? Because clearly he fights above his weight class all the time. So I see him as the Batman in this Justice League. It's like, yeah, if you were to look at Batman versus Darkseid, you'd be like, what, nigga? Why is he here? Yeah, but that nigga there though, right? Like,
Yeah.
Goblin Slayer absolutely cannot power with these niggas, but this nigga strats is beyond these other niggas. Like Rimaru, Kirito, and Naofumi all have good Isekai strats. I will put them at Isekai strat level comparable to niggas that are with the Nines group. This nigga Goblin Slayer, that nigga got the Death Note strats in the Isekai. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna put him at quite Death Note level, but like that nigga really is methodical in how he thinks. And if we were to anger or angle rather his this thoughts towards like the Temple of Nazarick, that nigga, especially with the Predator ability, Kirito's ability to sneak in and get stuff, like my nigga, I think that he gonna have a couple plans ready. Like, all right, bro, this how we about to handle these niggas. And then that's what he brings to the table. Kirito and no, not Kirito. Rimaru and Naofumi are both. They both bring the same thing to the table, except one is offensive and one is defensive. As you beat levels in the Temple of Nazarick, these niggas will exponentially get stronger. You know what I'm saying? And we already know
Yeah.
from Ainz is that all of his niggas combined together could clap him. He said it himself, right? So if they get to Ainz after clapping his niggas, it's almost him basically saying like, "Yo, I'm about to get clapped right here." The only thing that's gonna say that nigga is they robots and he not, so he got good strats. But my nigga Goblin Slayer there for that. You know what I'm saying? And then
I
Kid
mean, like,
Jesus there. If niggas need to really get clapped up, yo, Kirito, put this nigga under the dirt, bro.
See, my only hesitation to that, I definitely didn't think about the dungeon crawling aspect as much as you did. When you brought that up, that is a strong point of their like them leveling up through the different parts of the dungeon. My only hesitation to that is I think in both cases, just from the anime, Rimuru and Naofumi do have a cap. Like there is a certain amount of power that can overpower them, right? Like we've seen Rimuru have it with the demon lords. Like at this current stage, if a demon lord pull up, he will get like defeated, right? He can't outstrat that. And then now Fumi, it's like we just seen him have a difficult fight already. So it's like I definitely see the OP-ness, but I can see that getting countered by going into a room where the nigga is just too strong, which I think Ainz has that. But that's my only counter to what you said. Other than that, I think it made a lot of sense.
the only I agree, but I would also give that fact to Ainz too. Um, if we were talking about the Tomb of Nazarick before the anime started, quote unquote, in a sense of if this was still a video game that they were all kind of in and playing, I could see that being true. But since now all the characters have their own like they all have like consciousness and like can actually make decisions on their own, not to mention Ainz's own personality in the sense of trying to save and treating all of his members in the tomb as fam, if he sees that these guys are actually making mad decent headway into the tomb and starts even taking out like a floor guardian or two, he's going to be adjusting his plans and kind of making strats on the fly to kind of counter and learn as they're getting further on into the dungeon. So though he won't technically getting physically stronger as they keep going, his strats will be updated based on the abilities he will be seeing. And they have proved, at least in the latest season, that homie's got like cameras slash at least ways to view enemies as as soon as entered the tomb. So I mean, it's kind of, I mean, and based on like the strats we've seen from Ainz in general, I don't think it's too far fetched to say that okay, we ain't dealing with no normal busters here. Yo, all the floor guardians, we gonna be needing to make a plan while they start taking out some fodder. You know
And
what I
now,
mean? So considering that, I would say, I mean, it's tough to say who would actually bring more. Well, not bring more. Who would actually gain more as they've been going through the dungeon. If anything, I would just kind of put it as a wash, low key.
I just like two more things I wanted to add in is that I agree and understand that Ainz is a strategist. Um, but I think almost every main character in video game isekais are. It's not an abnormal trait. In fact, every single one of these characters on here could be considered a strategist in their own right.
True.
So, and I would just say that of everybody listed here, of the five isekai people here, I think Goblin Slayer, well, technically he's not in the isekai, but you know what I mean. I think Goblin Slayer has the best strats. Um, and combined with some of these niggas, and also another thing I want to throw out is we seen Ainz at an almost death state. Ainz don't got a main character turn up power. He is working within the confines of what he can do. He's just a powerful person that played the game for a long time. All of these niggas on the other end do have a main character turn up. Like yo, the chips are down. I can literally go outside of my ability and turn up. Don't sleep on that now.
Yeah. I mean,
I
just as
mean,
a
I'm
comment,
not, but the abilities we've been seeing of Irons ain't nothing to sleep on though, too. Just like base, as far as like him never being worried. But I mean, you gotta, I mean, like that, but that's the fact of itself, right? I mean, Irons, we've never seen Irons in a place where he was about to die, in the sense that he thought he was about to die. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, like he, in the sense of like his own natural ability and OPness is like valid in a sense of like his abilities that he's actually shown us could like rival even some of the OPness that we see in the other characters in the sense of like instant death, almost like I mean in a predator sense kind of concept where he has a one-hit kill and he does have time manipulating magic too, which in my opinion is kind of OP by itself. So I mean when they get to Ainz, it's like even if the floor guardians or all the other members of the tomb does any kind of work on these kids, I think Ainz has like a shot like by himself to do some hardcore damage after all the knowledge that he gains from him actually based on the team actually going up against the floor guardians by itself. The biggest thing, like I said before, I think like the biggest plus that Ainz has is just the quantity of actual creatures and personnel that's going to go up against these kids and more time for them to learn. Their biggest, I mean, the other side's biggest problem is simply going to be endurance because they only have four people going up against a literal army that
I
only
mean, yeah,
has
they.
like hundreds
I
and hundreds
wouldn't.
of people.
I wouldn't suspect that they would take on the whole group like one after another. Like you know what I'm saying? Just off pure numbers, he win. I'm not really speculating on the strategy in like in particular like that. But I could assume that there might definitely be a case like, yo, we hit up levels, 1 through 2, then we had to dip out. You know what I'm saying? Came back a couple weeks later, hit up your next levels, like that would just be suicide for them niggas to try and rush his shit. Like, I mean, if they want to, I don't
unless
know what them niggas on, but I
unless they
wouldn't do
brought
that.
their groups with them, then I think we definitely have something
Oh,
that's
well, that'd
more
be
of
a
like an
different
even
story.
Goblin
playing
Slayer's
playing
group is
field.
fodder.
Not necessarily. I don't think so. Because
I
if
mean,
that's the
I
case,
think
then
that
I
would be a
think Goblin
whole. I mean,
Slayer's
that'd be a whole
also
nother
fodder.
conversation. If Rimuru can bring like his own like nation
Yeah,
roster too, I mean, that's kind of
there we
huge by
go.
itself. So
Yeah. But I mean, one thing I did want to mention on the Goblin Slayer strats comment is I do agree that I feel like I feel like Goblin Slayer may have more stress, but when I think about it and what I've seen, unless the movie says something otherwise, the things he executed strats on were, while the goblins are cunning, I will not consider them like,
Smart.
smart in that like they're really strategically planning out how they execute things. I do think they're cunning. I do think they can adapt, but I feel like compared to maybe what some of the other isekai mains have fought down the road, I don't think it's really a chess match with Goblin Slayer. I think he's a really good hunter
Mm,
and has like really good strategies to capture the things that he hunts,
that's
if that
fair.
makes sense. And they're executed cleanly. So that would just be my only argument there. So I feels like when he's outside of his goblin element, a lot of those strats can fade. But like I said, if we brought the teams in, I do think we have a real powerhouse, and this becomes more of an even fight in my mind because like Rimaru has backup strong characters that probably can, handle some of the fodder.
Alpha Me got a whole village of animal people.
Right.
Exactly.
No, I
Yeah,
mean
he got
that's just it. I mean, this would be a completely different convo if we're
right.
talking about
And
like
all of
squad.
those people can level up throughout their battle. So when you add that leveling up thing, then it might even flip it to where Ainz is probably going to get destroyed because, like you said, they can just come in, take on the challenges incrementally, grow their base. By the time they come back, like these niggas have floor level. You know what I'm saying? Their
See,
top subordinates are probably 4 guardian level
I
or
thought
12.
about that same thing, but the reason I shied away from that as a question is because I was like, all right, I was going off of like, basic video game stupid dungeon logic, like, yo,
Yeah.
Ainz kind of stay put, let them niggas come to him. But I'm like, all right, if they get their whole group, like, yo, this is a military versus military, and Ainz get to move, I don't think it's as easy. Now I think it's a little more like just flat out even hard to say, period. Because you get into a lot of stuff. I haven't seen these niggas manage a country the way I seen Ainz do it.
That's facts.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
seen Ainz literally go into a place, systematically break that shit down, you know what I'm saying? Without stepping foot in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
This
and
nigga a
let's
real
not.
political terrorist.
I mean, you gotta also not sleep that it's not just Ainz who's making up that strat. It's a couple of his floor guardians that's a part of that too.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like that. I mean that you got. I'm just saying, like you can't sleep on his heavy roster as far as like not just power goes too, because some of those guys strats, especially like Buddy with the glasses. Yo, I mean, homie, you could even argue he's got more strats than Ainz. Like F around.
So I mean, like, and then that become a whole argument at that point. Like, that's
Yep.
an analysis.
No, that is true. There's definitely a strong military analysis at that point. Because I mean, like now Fumi's bringing people to the table. Rumaru is Kirito and Goblin Slayer, not necessarily,
I
but
mean, if
still.
Kirito bring his side homies, his like clear closest niggas are kind of
Yeah,
strong.
yeah, that's
Like,
true.
so they ain't coming with depth, but they come in, definitely with a couple strong
Quality.
niggas.
Yeah, they come with quality. Um, well, I mean, sorry, did you say what your 10 out of 10 one was for
Oh,
this?
me, my bad. So my 10 out of 10, or my number, I'll say probably like 6 out of 10. Very high difficulty. If they employ the right strats, right?
Okay.
I think that they got them to employ if they do, to the adventurers. And this is obviously caveat, assuming that Ainz is kind of acting like a typical, boss, you know.
Right.
He could just be like, oh, these niggas coming in here, evacuate the whole fucking place. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand shit like
No,
that can
nigga.
happen, but I'm just like, if he decides to stick it out, I'm gonna give it 6 out of 10. Very high difficulty to my adventurers because these niggas main characters, and I don't think Ainz is.
Damn. All right, Deuce, did you have a rating for this one?
No, I can't really rate it. I don't know too much about all the different shows.
George. All right, that's fine. I mean, any other closing comments on this one? If not, we'll move to manga. All right. So on to manga highlights, starting with put some respect on. I just have two things to put some respect on this month. Talentless Nana, which was an anime I started watching. I think it was pretty decent watch. It's like I guess I'll describe it as that, like My Hero Academia with the murder mystery kind of background. It's a school of heroes. One chick is not a hero and is trying to kill all of them for government reasons. So I thought it was pretty dope. I think I'm just a fan of that type of survival stuff since reading like Battle Royale, but I think it's a good watch. I'm not gonna overhype it, but I definitely something to pick up if you are looking for something to watch. Next is Bill King's. I have to talk about it because I'm a Tory Cole fan, stan, if you will. Um, It is the new manga written by Mitsutoshi. And so far from the first chapter, it looks like it is the Toriko world based in where the core element is carpentry. So if you remember from Toriko, it was like mostly about food. And then they built a power system around the food hunters. It looks like it's about to be about construction and maybe like people who find the parts or people who just fight the monsters in the construction world. But the setup Mr. Toshi had is very, very similar to Toriko. So if you're a fan of Toriko, it's really not going to feel that new to you. Um, I'm interested to see where it's gonna go. Maybe he'll give me what I missed in Toriko, but I felt like reading this, at least the first chapter, all I did was just wish that this was Toriko. So maybe we'll get something back from that. But that's it for me. Anybody got anything else they want to put respect
Yeah,
on this month?
I gotta put some respect on Black Clover. Just period. Like man, Asta and his demon are kind of like step foster siblings almost. You know, I think that's kind of cool. I mean, there was only so much they could do to not be like, oh, you're a Naruto copy. And I think this was maybe probably the the most interesting way they could do it.
All right.
I like that Asta, you know, his demon got into their little fight. His demon goofy as hell. Asta once again showed that muscles beat magic. Um, and then Asta mom, I just thought it was cool. She had a cool little power. And yeah, Black Clover just been going hard. I've been more interested in reading that manga every week than any other manga.
I can agree with that. Definitely of the big what I don't know if we have a big three right now, but
Because
My
niggas
Hero
hating
and
on Black Clover.
yeah. Yeah, I definitely look forward to the Black Clover chapters as of late. And then just to add to that, I am happy that we didn't fully skip over this fight with Noct. I'm interested to learn more about his power. I like that the author is at least giving us some time to see what that is and how he uses it. Um, I mean, I'm interested in the quality of demons he has because after Asta's whatever demon partner introduced a whole ranking system in the demon world, I'm just curious as to I'm assuming Nox can't all be of high caliber because I'm just assuming if you summon Lucifero and say, "Hey, you about to be my bitch," it's
Square
not
up,
finna
nigga.
go the way you thought. Yeah. So just off that, I'm very interested to see where the quality lies because he had so many demons. I'm interested to see if they're all basically low tier level, mid tier level, what? Because it would say a lot about what Noct is able to do.
I
So yeah,
definitely suspect they are like a bunch of low tiers because that just seemed like that makes sense. Like, yo,
right,
instead of going for a super powerful, I just got like 5 low tiers.
That
yeah,
would make sense at least. I mean, because just for that sheer quantity. But yeah.
And each one gets easier to get.
Mm.
yeah. I mean, it does mean a lot though for maybe like the future of this whole demon thing. Because I mean, even though we see that basically Dante and them got possessed by a demon, we may run into someone who is able to actually establish a contract with a pretty high tier demon, just like off their own wherewithal, and maybe has an evil villain plan, or maybe ends up being somebody that helps the heroes. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna see that in this arc. I'm speaking from the Black Clover's going on like One Piece level long that I
Right.
expect something like this to happen because the
Mhm.
power scale is just gonna get more ridiculous. So
That's true.
we're gonna
But
get to that point, I think, at some point.
no, I mean, you made a good point for the simple fact of all the skulls down there in the first place. I mean, to be real, like
Yeah,
there was obviously like a reasonably long history, whether it just be with Noct or for the society in general that was trying to, slash making demon level contracts in the first place. So there's definitely others, like without a doubt, that shouldn't just be the Dark Triad. So that's definitely something as far as like another hit for world building that'll probably be touched on later down the line. But as far as, in all honesty, though, as far as them going into this training arc, I'm a little, I'm kind of on the fence in the sense of one, it is good to see. Like MGG was saying, it's still good to like see the explanation, it happening, to getting more info in general. Like the whole concept of that is great, but I feel like it might be a trap in the sense of if they're going down this route, it pretty much tells me then that they're gonna show us all the growth with the characters that are going to need growth to actually go into the whole demon rescuing arc. And I think that for them to show that properly, that would take too much time compared to at least me personally. I can't speak for y'all, but the thirst of wanting to actually just see the demon rescue
Get to
arc in
this
the
fight.
first place.
Yeah.
So it's like how far are they really gonna do it since they are going down it? Are they gonna do it right, or are they gonna kind of half-ass it a little bit? You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's kind of I'm getting well, what's the right word? Not exactly scared, but maybe like a little anxious as far as to like how this is really gonna play out because they have to like really go into how in the F is Asta gonna get stronger than like where Yami was at, where Lucifero was at, where the rest of the Dark Triad was at. Not to mention the rest of the squad who's gonna do that too.
Yeah. I mean,
So
even like I'm definitely interested in that from Noel and them standpoint because like like you're alluding to, like at least with Astas, we're getting a lot of world building with the demon powers. My issue with if we show Noel's thing is we already introduced a really crazy concept with this rune magic.
right.
We've already seen the elves fight before. So unless the writer is going to add something in there to create something new for them,
Yeah,
I
she
feel
got
like that
something new.
training arc is going to be lame. You said
The
what?
the ultimate magic.
Oh, so they're going to teach them the ultimate magic, but we've seen them
Yeah,
use that before, right?
yeah, it went crazy.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like from the training arc standpoint, it's like, oh, we've already seen it. Like
But we saw it with a sword magic. I imagine that it probably looks something different with water magic.
oh yeah, I'm sure. But the thing is, we're not going to see her pull off that move in this training arc. We're going to see them quote unquote teach it to her, which to me doesn't really add much to the world building aspect of Black Clover, unless they're going to fuse it with this room magic some way.
Mm.
Or like to me, I'm just looking at the development of Asta with no powers and the demons, and where they're going with like the actual wizard development, at least in this time skip training arc. And to me, the runes was already a huge piece. Like, I don't know if they really needed to add more to it. The ultimate magic is nice to have, but watching someone in a training arc learn about this, I don't foresee myself learning anything new about their magic powers. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the way I'm learning about this whole demon contract thing, how demons come to this world, all that shit. So that's all.
Okay. I ain't gonna lie. I am ready to dive into a new type of like creature. I'm like, I hope they don't stretch the demons out after this. I'm like, give me something else. I want to see what's up with dwarves. Are there
Yeah.
giants, angels? Like, you know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, they're
Like,
throwing a lot out there.
That's
that's what I'm
true.
saying. For everything they threw out there, there's an opposite. Well, I
Yeah.
guess you could count elves as kind of like angels. Them niggas really acted like fucking angels. They were called apostles and shit like that. Like, high as
Uh,
mana. So I don't know. Maybe the elves count as angels. I don't know.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't count them as such, but
I
it,
wouldn't either. But
yeah, yeah, you're right. It's the author's choice.
yeah,
But yeah, no, definitely, I agree with that too. Like, I do want to see some of the other worlds explored. I just am wondering, like, if it's. I always have to go back to if it's going on for 1,000 chapters. Like, how big are we gonna make this world? Because after we beat the demons, we beat the elves. We're about to beat the demons, so we kind of, like you said, if they're the angels, we've more or less settled that relationship in some way, shape, or form. Like we figured out where we're going with the demons. Like there's some demons that's gonna fuck with us. All the demons don't fuck with us. Whatever. But there's some closure that's gonna come from that. Once we're done with those two things, the countries we've more or less explored as well. So it's like, what is going to be the next big thing that drives the Clover Kingdom to do something about, or even brings maybe the whole world together to do some other shit? Because I'm not seeing it. But like I said, 1,000 chapters, like he's got to have something planned.
I mean, I think they're gonna become one big country because if you think about it, Laura Pachika gone, or she probably gonna be gone.
Yeah.
Yuno's the rightful heir to the Spade Kingdom, but he's also a citizen and military member of the Clover Kingdom.
True.
And then it's like Diamond Kingdom been waiting to collapse since we first heard of them niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna take nothing but a sneeze in them niggas in Civil War. So it's like, why don't we just bring all this shit together? United States of magical shits.
Yeah. I mean, that could definitely bring up another nice training. Well, not training, but tournament arc. Because it could be like, okay, under this world thing, we need to establish a new set of
A
like
Wizard Emperor.
captains. Yeah, exactly. A wizard emperor, new set of captains. So maybe there's a battle with that. So where we can see what some of the magic powers that has been hiding in the other world. Because low key, I mean, Gaja didn't really take an L.
That
They
would
did
be
shit
dope.
on the rest of the Spirit Guardians, but Gaja is still there. So I think he's
Oh,
still a
they
real
really hold the
competitor.
rest of the Spirit Guard.
Yeah, they hold the fuck
Big
out of him.
hold.
But
Yo, we gonna hype
That's
up
true.
Gaja, but you niggas one panel knock the fuck out. Got it?
right. So Gaja fight could be interesting. We may have some niggas with some smoke in the Diamond Kingdom because I mean they do a lot of like let's go out and fight niggas. Yeah, but internally they could probably still just be keeping their strongest niggas at home and never really send
I
niggas
still
out.
think off the respect I got from my nigga Blackbeard, Diamond King and they double devil fruit powers could be cool. Like they might not be outright stronger than the nigga, but having two magics is kind of already strong.
That's true.
So
There's definitely shit to learn from in each like knowledge sharing across the countries definitely could be dope. Could help us. It could introduce new power concepts, new characters, new power developments for certain characters. So definitely a lot to build on.
it's
I don't
like,
know.
dude, the Spade and the Diamond Kingdom are so shitty that
Yeah.
if I was a Heart Nation, I wouldn't want to interact with nobody. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not melded with these niggas. They rip niggas' books apart and sold them. Nigga, hell no. These niggas infected with demons and shit. No, nigga, I'm about to stay in my garden picking my motherfucking apricot jelly, nigga. Y'all tripping.
So that spirit guardian go to Noel side, then y'all realize you out here, bro. Oh,
Now, yeah, it's over with, dude.
Y'all out here. But yeah, so anything else on Black Clover? Or anything else we want to put respect on this month? If not, then I'll move on to this whole Dabi stuff in My Hero. All right. Dabi it is. So we finally got confirmation that we already knew that Dabi is in fact Toya Todoroki, Endeavor's son. I have to preface this with I was wrong. I had my theory like a year ago or some shit like that. And basically once 290 dropped, the YouTube comments just filled with like read 290. You're wrong. You're wrong. So I just to show that I'm a bigger person, even though I just threw a theory out there, knowing that it probably was still Toya. Yeah, I was wrong. I take that. I'll take that L. Now to unpack how shitty this reveal was. First of all, just general question to the group: did anybody feel any type of way besides lackluster as far as it comes to this Dabi reveal as Toya?
Oh, completely. I mean, it tried to shift like a momentum change with what all was going on, which, if you think about a grand scheme with what all was going on, it's like, why would you do that now?
It don't make
The
no
timing was
sense.
just so off that it
Horrible.
didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So it was sad for such a big reveal to kind of be shrouded with what all's going on. I mean, for a lack of a better like comparison, I would pretty much call like the last few chapters like collectively together as like the year of 2020. It was just like things on things going on, but with all the things that's been intense that's going on, it kind of made you numb to the quote unquote big reveal of who Dabi really was. It's like, why would you do this now when there's so much else going on? Why not just wait to
I
actually
feel
like cause a bigger impact and isolated.
I feel like I agree with Jugga a lot. Like, I didn't even have a something I could compare this to. Is so what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the comparison of like if we decided we was robbing a bank. And in the midst of trying to get away from robbing this bank, one of the niggas hop out the car, take off his mask, and like, yo, detective, you my pops, and like get his like, yo, nigga, our leader dying, like, let's go, bro, we just got chased across the city, helicopters behind us and shit, heroes coming, like, nigga, let's go. And he like, no, nigga, everybody gonna know my story, nigga, like, what? Like.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Is the lamest. It made Dabi seem lame,
Right.
and
100%.
it made him seem super fucking lame. And then like when he had the one chance to kind of open up or like reverse the lameness, like when he was about to do that Hellfire Fist prominence burn, that would have been cool. But then he gets stopped.
Got a body.
Fucking waste of time.
Yep.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the second chapter just like followed up with the bullshit. My other issue is that once again, like I feel like my hero stayed too shonen in this moment. Like I felt like if this was gonna be Dabi's culmination moment, this whole thing, like he seasoned all of these little things of like Dabi knows more than we think he knows. He got more strats than we think he has. But the fact that all of that culminated to him just doing this is what it feels like. Was a waste to me. Like I'm just like, so for example, like even if we think about his origin story, so he saw Stain and he was like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna kill niggas now. So none of this would have happened if Stain didn't exist. Like he just would have been a burn victim walking around town. Like I'm very just confused at like the way the author chose to put the pieces together and his ultimate goal. Like Endeavor was gonna die anyways. Real talk. Like without you showing up, this nigga was on his way out. And I liked how they tried to make it seem more realistic with the fact that he tried to kill him in the media, but it was still very shonen in the way it was executed. It was like, hey, I just rolled out this like DNA test. I just did all these things. Like your image is ruined, but now I'm gonna kill you. But it's like, no, you should. It's actually better for you to ruin his image and then just let him live on as the number one hero with that shitty ass image.
Right.
Like I don't know what he was trying to get out of the world.
He really helped the humans, or not the humans. He helped the good guys because now it's like, hey, it's not that our valiant hero system failed; is that we had a shitty hero at number one.
Yeah.
So when Deku, a non-shitty hero comes, you know,
right. And then they showed like Hawks killing somebody and showing that his history was from a villain. But it's like, first of all, I think from a societal standpoint, and All Might was a villain of peace. Are you telling me that up until this point, there's never been a villain who's tried to turn coat and become a hero? Like that's never happened, or somebody who's been a child of a villain. Like it just seems odd to me that some of the points that he's bringing up never happened before, huh?
Yeah, no, I was agreeing with you. It just sounds odd that he would even use that. Like clearly, it really does seem like something that a nigga whipped together. Like, yeah, this will stick it to him. Like,
it wasn't well executed at all. I felt like you said, from what we saw of Dabi as like really being maybe like more of a strategist than Tomura, having a lot of potential. He basically showed me why he's subordinate to Tomura. He's stupider than that guy, in my opinion. Like I'm just like, I didn't get anything from this reveal. We all kind of expected it to be his son, and the execution I think was poor. Plus, like if this is the flag that's killing Endeavor, it's just more like what the fuck. And then I'm also mad because I'm like, so did you really think Hawks listened to you and killed Best Genius? Because him showing up seemed to have just ruined the entire plan. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm just like, bro, your shit just got totally broken down by one small thing that you definitely could have predicted, which is that Hawks wasn't going to
didn't actually kill him.
Yeah, like you definitely could have figured that out pretty quickly.
And if you think about it, if you stop and think about it, and this nigga needs to deserve to be honorary Goofy of the month now. is like that.
It might be
the
the
plan,
year, bro. At the end of 2020. Fuck
right? Because if you think about it, the whole plan was
Fuck
perfect.
it.
The world watched two cities get destroyed by villains, and all the heroes get fucking killed or maimed. It's like, nigga, the world had already lost hope in heroes,
Oh,
surely by now. But now you just actually kind of gave these niggas a way to get hope back, bro.
right. Like, oh, heroes are bad too. Like, I'm like, this would have been properly executed before this happened. Like, at this point, it was like Tomura had a plan, and Dabi thought he was like his own boss, and he was like, "No, we need this part of the plan too. This exposing them shit." Like, it's like, bro, you could have done this way earlier because Endeavor's on an apology tour any the fuck way. So really, this is only gonna make him look better if he survives this fight because he's gonna be like, yeah, you know what? As number one hero, I own up to the fact that I fucked up my kids' lives. I really wanted to be number one. I really wanted to be a symbol of peace. But what I realized, I need to be a symbol of peace at home with my family. So now you just gave this nigga an apology tour off being shitty as fuck. And then at the same time, it's like your plan is what is the purpose? Like, if you want to kill Endeavor, you could have just met that nigga in a dark alley. I'm your son, dropped his ass right then and there, and we'd be done with it. But I don't know. This show of
The thing that killed me is like after revealing him, why kill him? Because the whole point of revealing him publicly is to let him sit in it. But I'm like, but after getting my ass whooped and getting saved by freshmen in high school, honestly, I can tell you what's going on through Endeavor head. Shit, this is my last motherfucking day. I'm done. Y'all tripping. I'm retired. And that nigga came in and put my retirement letter in for me.
Right.
Good shit, my nigga. I knew you was my favorite son.
Right. It was absolutely horrible. And then I feel like there is a lot of open questions on him figuring out some of this like background shit that he figured out. But at the end of the day, it was just so poorly executed. I don't care. Him knowing that Hawks' dad used to be a villain, it just adds more questions to me about Hawks' whole thing. Like, why did the government scoop him up? All this other shit than it does about why Dabi knows that information. I was more curious, like, what the fuck have you been doing this whole time? You fake died, and then where the fuck did you go? Like, why? This was the plan you were scheming that whole time. What? It's random. Deuce, did you have any comments? I know you didn't say nothing about the whole Dabi thing. Maybe you thought it was good. I guess he's still doing some shit. So, other than that, any other comments on the Dabi reveal shit?
Nope.
All right. I think we can cap it off with MVPs and Goofies of the month. So, I'm actually going to change my MVP. At first, I had that one dude that survived Makima, which was the guy from Chainsaw Man that trained Denji. I was surprised that he didn't get hurt. But now I have to give it to Best Genius. The fact that this nigga is really what I would define as a true hero in the My Hero Academia sense of heroism. This nigga had a shitty quirk, developed it into something powerful, and still showed that with that shitty quirk, he's outperformed every pro hero, aka Endeavor, who fucking has fire powers, bro. This nigga came to truly save the day when it was hopeless. He gave a little bit of hope to the My Hero world.
Outperformed the number 1 and 2.
Yeah, that shit could actually pop off. And for that, I mean, if they're doing hero rankings after this, Best Genius deserves number 1. Get that to him a fucking sap. More respect to Bakugo for training under that nigga. Like, I just really fuck with Best Genius execution because honestly, every hero in this arc besides Best Genius can't say that they weren't shown up by a UA student. That's the saddest part of this entire arc. All of the fucking pro heroes have been shown up by UA students.
Don't disrespect my nigga Hawks like that. He definitely caught a body.
I mean, that nigga got burnt up, bro. All right, I'll give Hawks that. Hawks and Best Genius were the only two who showed me heroes could actually do shit, and I felt like this would have been an arc to really highlight the gap between UA and the pro heroes. And instead, it's actually showing us that all of the UA students should hurry up and get their fucking pro hero license. Like
today.
Second thing to that, I haven't even seen the niggas. Did we get the niggas from the other schools pop up too, or no?
Well,
I swear I seen them
I
in
can't
one
maybe.
panel.
Like Earthquake,
Yeah,
Homie, all those
like-
other motherfuckers. I don't know if they there or not, but like same
We
thing.
didn't
Like
see him
what's
do work, but I think we did see him. I
okay?
think.
Yeah, in like a panel, I remember seeing a different school.
Yeah. All right. Well, there. So that was my MVP. Best Genius. Shout out to you. Goofies. I have 3 Goofies to give out.
Ooh.
First off has to go to Horokoshi for this horrible execution of a Dabi reveal, bro. This shit was trash upon trash upon trash. Me, I don't enjoy the way it was written. He totally ruined the character in this moment. And Dabi was a fan favorite, at least for me. The way he executed this whole Endeavor reveal thing, he had so many opportunities leading up to it where he could have revealed this, and it would have been a much better executed moment. He just picked a weird, awkward time to do it, and it just really has given me no hope in what's going to happen to Dabi post this. They're probably going to arrest this nigga and throw him in an insane asylum or do some other dumb shit, but I'm not seeing the value in this reveal at all. Second, since I'm already into my hero bag, I gotta give it to myself just for being wrong on the theory. This is only for the fans. This is not for me. I don't think I deserve this goofy. But when niggas call you out on some shit, it's the goofy isn't biased. Anybody can get the smoke. I got the smoke today, so I'll go ahead and give it to me for being wrong on that Dabi theory. I still thought it was a dope theory. Honestly, I think it's a better theory than what the fuck happened anyways, but I'll leave it at that. Last but not least, I have to give it to the dumbest space show ever, probably ever made, but ever on Netflix alone. This shit, I've spent a month, this month I spent watching that shit and catching up because I saw like, oh, they were like, oh, a new series is coming. So I was like, oh, I wonder, maybe this has some like weird twist in it. So that's why they're saying it's a new series instead of a new season. No, it needed a new series because it was that trash, bro. Like, this shit is a space crew of niggas that do the dumbest things you could ever think to do on space. They go to planets, try things without testing them. Hey, look, there's this plant here. I wonder what it tastes like. Who the fuck do you know
What?
in any space show goes to a different planet and just eat shit from that planet without testing it, without doing any sort of like thing on there? They fucking have orgies on this show. Like, they do the dumbest things in space. And the sad part about it, it's not like it's a space reality TV show and they sent idiots. These niggas are supposed to have PhDs and shit. There's biochemists on this ship. There's all types of smart motherfuckers on this ship. Yet they consistently do the dumbest things in space. Every episode I watched, I was shocked at how stupid these people were, bro. If you feel like getting pissed off and just shocked at what niggas can do in space, watch Alone. That shit was horrible.
Well, you said this was an anime or is this a reality show?
This is a regular Netflix TV show, whatever the fuck. It's called Alone. It's about like aliens attack the US and they send out, this is like a little bit in the future, but not too crazy. They send a team of us out basically in these stasis pods to go to their planet to try and negotiate with them. So in the process of doing this, they basically like slept a bunch of people that could fit in different things. So they have like a first crew that they wake up, but basically they can wake up other people depending on the situation. So they're like, oh, a disease is going crazy in our ship. Let's wake up the doctor nigga that we have to help us figure it out. So it kind of starts off doing that, but then it goes totally left and niggas just die for no reason. Like, it's so stupid. It's dumb. But I had to call it out here. That's how much it pissed me off this month. But yeah, that's it for me.
Okay. I'll go ahead and go next for MVP. Actually, I mean, when thinking about it, I wanted to give it to Satoru Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen, but I think on a broader sense, I'm more just going to give it to Mappa Studios, who actually made Jujutsu Kaisen and this most previous episode. Because, well, I guess first I'll just put some respect on Jujutsu Kaisen anime if we haven't done so before, but I know we have, so I'll just put a little bit more sauce on it. If you are not watching this show, you are missing out. Pick it up. Start watching the episodes and be amazed by the awesome action and animation that this show is actually be comprised of, because it is lit. This previous episode, which is pretty much Satoru Gojo versus Geto, aka Volcano Buddy, you get to see how stupidly OP Gojo is. And the animation that they putting respect on his name, they did not sleep. They went all out. This last episode is like, it's pretty much like this episode, I feel like almost deserves the hype as effing that famous Demon Slayer episode. I think it's like 13 or whatever, as far as like the whole
shit.
right. Like that's like this caliber of like the episode that just came out. And you get to again like just see like pretty much all, if you were keeping up with us as far as like the manga highlights for Jujutsu Kaisen and us hyping up the anime because we knew this was going to happen, this is an episode that perfectly explains why we knew this was going to be hype, and it was lit. Holy crap, this man is a monster. Do not sleep. And so on the opposite end of that, I gotta put Geto, aka Volcano Buddy, as the Goofy for even thinking for even a hot second that he had enough sauce to actually touch my man Gojo. There's an infinite space. You can't touch him. Get off his dick. It's too huge. Just gonna play it out there. All right. And also as a sign off for another Goofy, I gotta wait. MGG, I'm not sure if you caught up, so I won't go into detail hardcore, but Yuka from Talentless Nana, like the most previous adversary of Nana, she just like she had her, and she just her execution is just
fucked it up.
my head. Like, you had it, but like, what are you doing with your life? Because that was just really effing sad and really effing pathetic. So you gotta get a mad Goofy for that.
All right.
Okay. And so my Goofy, keeping with the sci-fi trope that MGG started. My first Goofy, I got two, as Baby Yoda. Because Baby Yoda was out. So there was this lady who is part of an endangered species and had these eggs. And Baby Yoda was banging them shits. Bitches. He was banging them shits on the low. And I'm just like, yo, Baby Yoda, like, you know, he cute when he eating them, but I'm like, son, as an endangered species, like, you can't do that.
Damn.
Wow.
So I gotta give him Goofy for that. He bangs.
Quick question about Baby Yoda: is he actually like Yoda, or
No.
is it just like he's just a baby?
So it's been just a trope. Since starting with George Lucas, that he never gave Yoda species or any information about him, so don't nobody even know like the species name. It's just Yoda's species, and he even when people would try and make stuff in any medium, he would shut that shit down. So this is the first time we've seen a Yoda species really outside of Yoda, and there's one female Yoda they had for like 2 seconds in the movie. So niggas don't know what to call him, so they just call that motherfucker Baby Yoda.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
And then I got Taite Kubo for reasons I already explained in this podcast. That nigga got me again, and I didn't think it was gonna happen. But I tell you what, world. Fool me 3 times, I don't think so. He ain't get me.
Give it a couple years, bro.
I've been hearing this Bleach Light novel is answering a lot of questions.
I hearing it. I got 2 MVPs as well. Fuegoleon Vermilion. I was speculating. It was all big speculation on what that nigga could do. It ain't speculation no more. That boy was 1v2 in captains, and then that nigga came in and fire punched a nigga. And I was like, oh, he with the hands too, bro? Like, he not for the just magic shit? Like, that nigga strong. He up there, like, I would have to see William Vaughn just knock that nigga out for somebody to tell me that William could do it. That's where I'm at right now. The only nigga above him right now is Yami, and that's because I like my nigga Yami. So yeah, Fuegoleon did his thing, and then also keeping with sci-fi, I want to put on MVP Amos Burton. I started rewatching my favorite sci-fi series, The Expanse, because the 5th season coming out soon, and Amos is a human who kind of suffers from the inability to feel emotion. So he kind of like leans on like the captain and the other members of the crew to be like, yo, that shit not right. And he just like, a lot of people you talk to will be like, yo, that nigga scary. He shouldn't be on the ship. I'm like, nah, I need more niggas like that in my life. That nigga's solid, bro. So like, there was a situation where like there's like a virus on in this space station, and then everybody like, bro, we should leave. Even Amos was like, we should get the fuck up out of here. But the captain was like, no, we waiting for a nigga. And some nigga upped the gun on the captain. And even though Amos was like, yeah, bro, we should leave, he would just see that nigga. They was like, bro, Amos, go get the shit ready. He just nodded and walked off. Next thing you know, bah, he just put a bullet in nigga's skull. He was like, yeah, I wanted to leave, but Captain said we staying. I'm like, that's the type of nigga I need, bro.
Wow.
No
All right,
emotions, bro. Cap said we staying put, then we staying put. That's it.
Oh, okay. Well,
So he a real one, bro.
I'm
I got
assuming the Expanse is better than Alone, so I might get that shit to watch at some point.
110%. It is my favorite. It's scientifically accurate. So if you get mad at niggas doing stupid shit, they don't do that shit here. Like if you get stuck in outer space, ain't no giving your helmet to another nigga. Like, nah, nigga,
Hey,
y'all
bro.
dead.
Just to highlight, speaking of going out in space, another thing they did in there is they landed on a planet. This bitch was like, "Oh, I think we could breathe on this planet." She took her helmet off and just started breathing the air.
Crazy.
She was just like, "Oh yeah, it looks like we could." She didn't. I'm telling you, she didn't check a computer or nothing. She was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna lift my helmet up and see if I could breathe on this planet." She found out she could, and she was just like, "Yeah, fuck it, I ain't putting that helmet back on."
That's
Mind
crazy.
you, later in the episode, random disease comes onto the fucking ship, killing niggas. But you
Yeah,
ain't
you
hear
know,
that?
if you want niggas to act realistic, bro, definitely fuck with Expanse on Amazon Prime. They do like it's scientifically accurate. Everything they don't even when it be like space battles, like you can't just dip off on a nigga. Like the human could only take a certain amount of G forces. So it's like, look, nigga, if we run away, we gonna die. We got to do this at a certain speed, you know. Like
Yeah.
it's and like when niggas launch missiles, it's not like, oh my god, the missile hit us. It's like, yeah, in a couple hours, these missiles gonna be here, because we are in space, nigga. Like, so
That's pretty legit, though. Okay.
it's dope.
This one. All right, dude, you got yours. Going once.
I don't gotta. Yeah, I low-key fell asleep when I was talking earlier. But
Damn.
that Isekai thing put me to sleep. But
Damn.
I don't got no Goofies. But I got
Dabi don't get a Goofy from me.
I mean, you already give it to him, so I think you touched on it good enough. You know, like I thought it was trash. Yeah. So my Goofies, I haven't been watching much anime and stuff like that, but I have to agree with Drugger and just give it to Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, I was definitely sleeping on it. So as of
Yeah.
today, I'm starting the manga today because I just can't wait.
Oh
Hey,
shit!
We got you,
Can't wait.
bro.
Welcome,
So
Got you.
coming to the club, bro.
let's go.
Oh, speaking of manga, I forgot to bring this up in the manga highlights. Shout out to Usopp and Nami for fighting headbutting chick. I was actually
Oh, I
surprised
forgot
that they
about
held
that.
their own for that long. They
Bro,
kind of put a
homie
lot of
skull.
disrespect on headbutt chick name.
Bro, you saw that quick X-ray shot, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Bro,
crack that
like
nigga
how
skull.
is like what?
That's
Like,
the biggest respect I feel like I've ever seen on Usopp name. The fact that he was able to take that much damage, like, well, in a while, he's done some crazy shit before, but that's been I think
well,
craziest since.
not like that. I don't think nothing like that because like I
bro,
think
that's I mean, homie
I
should be
mean,
dead. Like
I mean, he took a good ass whooping by Luffy, so I'll say that was pretty, fucked up. And I think did he get blown up before? I felt like something else happened in CP9 that was pretty like fucked up to Usopp, but that was about it. I feel like I've seen his eyes grayed out once or twice before this moment.
but I mean, bro, like they should have like if anything, like this is kind of a tangent, but
Yeah.
they shouldn't have dropped that X-ray. Like I'm sorry. Homie's skull was in piece. Well, I mean, not the complete skull, but I mean,
Yeah.
it was cracked. There was a
It was.
reasonable crack on his skull. His whole nose was destroyed completely. The fact that he was even conscious should be like,
Yeah.
bro, how are you human? Like,
And
like he should be
respect
dead.
on respect on Nami's name. She shows she really is down with the crew. Like, definitely saw her
That's
as
true.
the type like what Usopp said, would just lie and not hold her own. But Luffy's crazy got up in her, bro.
That's
She
fact.
said
It
it.
ain't the
She
only
took
thing
that
that
out.
got up in there. I know what her and
That's a
Luffy
fact.
on.
That's a fact. Might be some other things that got up in there.
Ooh.
Some jalapenos.
You know, you feel me? Yeah.
Knowing Luffy, he would too.
That gum rocket, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it gave her a little spice.
Oh boy.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I think we are out of here. Thanks for visiting us. Whatever the fuck. I don't know what I'm trying to say. We
Sure.
done.
Bye.
We
All right,
done.
until next time.